So we go to item 4.1, which is adoption of supporting information for the consultation document for the amendment of the long-term plan 2018 to 2028. And we have Mr. Hadley Tattle in front of us, the policy manager for this area of the business. Hadley.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. So there's two items on the agenda for today. The first one obviously is to adopt the supporting information that sits in behind the consultation document that you'll be adopting in item 4.2. Legislation obviously requires us to get you to adopt the supporting information first before you adopt the consultation document. So the items that are listed there are items that you have been involved with up until throughout the workshop and decision-making process up until now. It has gone through the audit process. Our auditors have seen those documents, and that has led us to create and develop the consultation document, which is on the agenda. So essentially, unless there's any questions, we'll take that item as read, and then we can move on to the next section.
Yep, that's the one that's just come through yesterday or the day before. If that's the case, Mr. Chairman, just as a matter of interest, and I may well be out of touch, but that doesn't matter. There were some comments about the parking in Turangi-Tongariro Street. Here we go. It talks about the car parks that are going to go. Second paragraph down, it says the impact from council staff. This is because most of our staff who would be housed in the new administration building are currently located in offices in the town centre. Further down the page, the disadvantage are people who currently use the Turangi-Tongariro Street car park for all-day parking would need to find a new place to park. Isn't that what the 80 car parks are going to do? Effectively, this is saying staff are parking all around town at the moment. So I would assume that seems to be a bit of a contradiction. I would assume that so that the 80 car parks would be part of that.
I just need to confirm, just from your check, has that flowed through into the final version you received yesterday? I can have a look at that now. I just don't have that version in front of me, I'm afraid.
I'd have to go through page by page, but I could do that.
I guess in macro terms, though, the 80, I don't think it is inconsistent, because the 80 car parks, which replace the all-day car parks, is what's been built over, and then the statement about the council staff parking there already is absolutely correct, because we all are. So it's about replacing what we lose because we've got building over the top of them, rather than additional people in the town centre.
It's the 80 on the Turangi-Tongariro Street, but we're replacing them.
I think actually it was less than that.
Less than
about 55 or 60 that we lose.
55 we displace.
Yep.
We're adding 80. Bearing in mind we need to take some account for some pool cars and so on that council have. But I think what it basically means, councillor, is that they won't be able to park where they currently park if that's where they currently park, and that's the option that we end up building on. But they'll be able to park close by, so within a block or two there will be parking provided.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the other comments was made in regards was the regional council maybe becoming part of the building. What requirements does the regional council want if they actually become a leasee of our property? i.e. access for their cars, a whole host of things, as most of them work off-site.
So we haven't got to that level of design because that is detailed design once you decide where it's going to be, and that would be part of that detail basically. So we've had very high level discussions with the region about their willingness to be part of the discussion, and they've indicated that they would like to, but obviously that is again subject to detailed design and a commercial negotiation that we'd have with them at that time.
And finally, has any discussions been held with those who we lease buildings from at the moment?
Yes, we've had discussions, I don't believe with all of the landlords, but we've had discussions with several of them because several of them are also keen to put in proposals for us.
Okay, there's a suggested recommendation. Any other questions and queries on that recommendation there? So A, business case completed by Habilis, CAB building, high level requirements, Tongariro domain master plan, 6167 240 Tower Street, feasibility study, 72 Lake Terrace, feasibility study, Taupo Cultural Precinct, Civic Administration Community Centre and Museum concept estimate, 72 Lake Terrace concept estimate, so that's different than the feasibility, and estimate of 240 Tower Street concept estimate. All right, there's a suggested recommendation there. Do I have a mover? Moved by Councillor Williamson.
I would also like to congratulate Hadley and his team and Philip for the hard work and given the time constraints, you know. So well done, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Williamson. Any second would like to say anything? You're okay? Cool. Okay, so it's been moved by Councillor Williamson, seconded by Councillor Park. All those in favour, please say aye. Those against? Carried. Thank you. All right, item number 4.2 is the adoption of the consultation document.
Yes,
Hadley.
it is. Yeah. So you should have received both the proposed amendment to the long-term plan, which is the first recommendation there. That is essentially the pages that will be changing in the long-term plan, and that is currently based on the preferred options that you've chosen to this point. So that's why it's currently called proposed. And then the second item is the consultation document, which sets out all the options for both issues. So I think at this stage, it might be worthwhile having our auditors come up and just speak to their opinion that sits in the consultation document.
Yep, sure. Thank you very much. Welcome, Clarence and Nordea. Nice to have you here from Audit New Zealand. Thank you. Clarence, are you
Good
still in
afternoon.
charge, are you, or
Say again?
you the boss still? Yeah. Cool. Okay, thanks, Clarence.
Thank you, Your Worship, and good afternoon, councillors. I'm here today to present my unmodified audit opinion on the proposed amendment of your 10-year plan. So I'm responsible for reporting on the consultation document as required by Section 93D of the Local Government Act. So you are proposing to amend your long-term plan by including the council administration building with in-berm parking in Turangi-Tongariro Street. Also included in the consultation document are options in relation to a proposed new museum. Council's preferred option is to not go with a new museum, but it's one of the options. So, in my opinion, the information in the consultation document provides an effective basis for public participation in Council's decisions about the proposed amendment. This is because the consultation document fairly represents the reasons for and implications of the proposed amendment, and it identifies and explains the main issues and choices facing Council and the district, and the information and assumptions underlying the information in the consultation document are reasonable. So, from a high level, we'll first of all looked at your consultation document. In your consultation document itself, that's the nice marked up version, we ensured that it complies with the relevant provisions in the Local Government Act. We also ensured that the disclosures are consistent with your financial strategy and your infrastructure strategy, as well as it's consistent with your other underlying information that's been adopted previously. We also looked at your financial strategy and financial model, and overall there was no significant changes to your original strategy that you adopted with the long-term plan. So we concluded that it's still prudent the way that you fund your debt and the proposed capital expenditure. There was no changes to your infrastructure strategy, and your assumptions underlying the preparation of this is still applicable, is good for this council, and it's in line with the previous assumptions used in the preparation of your long-term plan. We looked at your performance framework, and we concluded that there was no major changes in your performance framework, so that is still remained unchanged, and therefore we're happy with that. And I'll just get Nadia to talk quickly about the process and then just looking forward as well.
Thanks, Clarence. Thanks, Nadal.
Yes, we met with the mayor and the management during December to discuss the audit process for preparing the CD. Subsequent to this meeting, the preferred option of the council changed, and during the audit of the draft CD document, the museum was added as an additional consultation issue, together with the option to include the underground car park for the council's preferred site to have the new building. The audit team and staff worked very well during this process in tight timelines to ensure that all the changes has been given effect to. Going forward, we will complete our audit of the amendment by considering any changes that may follow from the consultation process as stated in the CD. This will happen early in June. And, lastly, I just would like to thank staff for the positive engagement and professional manner which I engage with audit staff during this process. It's always a pleasure for us to come and audit here at Taupo, and it remained the same this time. Special thanks to Alan, Neil, Hadley, John, Philip and Tanya.
Thanks, Nadal. Appreciate those comments. Cool. Any questions of Clarence or Nadal? All pretty straightforward. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Right. Hadley, anything else to talk about the document?
Sorry, nothing further to add other than what's in the item and obviously the two documents that you received. So.
Sure. So do we have any questions on the document? Councillor Hickling.
Oh, sorry, that's for a workshop relating to after this council meeting. Yeah. No.
Just on page 3, Hadley, and probably a question for Lisa, you've got the consultation events. Taupo, yeah, so you've got public open days, then you've got a public meeting. So is that a presentation by us, or how will that work?
Based on where we ended up at the yacht club early last year, we thought we might start that public forum open day with a meeting, kick it off with a meeting.
Right.
Bearing in mind that we're probably going to get people to arrive en masse, so rather than try and manage the mass, we might as well seat the mass and have the conversation break into the open forum,
Right.
open day type thing. We think it's a pretty quick presentation. We've got 4 options there. We're desperate for people to have their say. We're making all the opportunities for people to have their say. It's pretty clear that it's undecided where we're at the moment, and we're just going through the process.
Okay.
Because it's what we sort of thought was if we presented, but then try not to have the question and answer thing, because it's actually a submission process. People need to put that in, and so we can break off, and if they want clarification, etc., we can have that. But having the public meeting thing, it's people want to be able to give their feedback right there, or it's actually the submission process is the place they need to be able to channel that. But having a presentation is something which I think will be valuable for them. Yeah,
sure. So we need to probably have someone that can articulate that to them. Yeah, sure. Lovely. Okay, any other questions? Councillor Boddy.
Question, and I'm just wondering how it's arisen. It's on page 4 of the document, but page 16 in our long-term plan. In the graphs that are shown in the long-term plan, particularly in 2021, we had water at under 12 million. In the document going out, it's in excess of 12 million. And if we go to 27-28 in the long-term plan, the water is below 8 million, yet it seems to have increased or decreased in the document going out for consultation. Is there a reason for that?
Sorry, John, do you mind just coming forward so that just the people at home can hear? Thank you, John. John Caldwell, from Finance.
Yeah, when we were doing the workings for the long-term plan amendment, we did notice a change, and we thought that looked rather strange because there shouldn't be any changes in water. And then we found that the original LTP did have a mistake in it, and that the draft, the graph, what went out with an earlier version, and later when changes were made and some projects were moved around, the graph wasn't replaced. So that was a mistake that went out in the original LTP.
So the one that we're working on at the moment is incorrect. So this one here that's come through and what we're talking about now will be the proper one for...
Yeah, the LTP
Yeah,
amendment is
okay.
now correct. It's the latest versions of all the different expenditure.
Thank you.
What will happen is once you've gone through this process and made a final decision, that amendment document will literally be attached to the back of the LTP amendment. Of the current LTP. So it'll be like an addendum sitting on the back, making it very clear that this is an amendment to the original document.
Okay. Thank you. One there.
You frustrated, John? You never picked it up the first time round?
No, I didn't pick it up the first time around because I didn't know a difference until today.
Yeah.
Or yesterday, so...
Sure.
most
Cool.
of the time,
Councillor
I'm sorry.
Body.
Just, on page 14 or 44 of the long-term document, I'm just wondering what changes have been made on that page. I couldn't find any, but they're part of what's going out for consultation.
So is that page 14 of the amendment document? Or
Page 14, correct. It seemed to be the same that's in the existing long-term plan.
So, sorry, just to be clear, page 14 of the amendment.
It's,
Yes.
So it's shown as page 14 of the long-term plan
Of
as
the
well?
one you've just sent out, but it's
Yep.
44 of the long-term plan.
so what was the question again? Sorry,
Might-
Councillor
I was
Body.
just wondering what the changes are.
Oh,
Looking here, what's that, 44? I can't find any changes in it, but it's in the in your one. It's on there, yeah, 44. I can't read, did I, Jim?
You don't need to make it bigger, don't you?
Correct. It's a bastard when you get old.
Excuse me.
Try that on my one. No, I'm referring to the figures themselves. If you remember, I raised the question of having 2 years at 300,000 when mine was 256, not 300. So I couldn't find any changes that related to that. And transport. Okay. Okay.
all right.
I've got one more, Mr. Chairman. It's page 151, I think, long-term 26. There's no graph to what the keys of the graph actually mean. You know, the different colours. In the long-term plan, it's shown that key yellow is for so-and-so, key blue is for so-and-so. Those keys aren't not below the graph.
Is that in the long-term plan or in the amendment document?
Well, I got the figure down here for the long-term plan being, where the hell are we? 151 and 26 in the
26.
no, we're miles away.
No, great.
Oh, you're talking about that page with the... Oh, we're actually... Hang on. 26, I've got to make sure I'm right. 27. Need to go find it and come back around and waste time. You say the same? No, I'm not. Oh, there is another one here too that's out too. I'll come back.
Yeah, I wonder
Chairman.
whether we just grab those
Yeah,
comments
come
we've
back.
got and we'll just double check to make sure.
Okay,
we've got
yep.
All right. Any other questions
There was one more when I find it.
or queries on the proposed amendment and the consultation document?
The only further thing that I'll add is that
Yes.
consultation's taking place from the 2nd of April till the 3rd of May. So during that time, it is hoped that we will provide you with weekly updates of the submissions at a high level as they're coming in, just so you've got a feel for where they're all at. And then hearings are set down for the week beginning what's Tuesday the 4th of June, Monday being Queen's birthday, Monday holiday. So depending on the number of submitters that wish to be heard, they'll begin on that Tuesday.
Right.
And we'll just see how that week pans out.
Cool. All right, and we certainly encourage everyone to get involved. Okay. Maggie, do you want to say something? No? All right. Okay, suggested recommendation there. The council adopts the proposed amendment to the long-term plan, 2018-28. And number 2, the council adopts the consultation document for the amendment of the long-term plan for consultation in accordance with section 93A1A of the Local Government Act 2002. Do I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Stewart, thank you very much, and seconded by Councillor Park. Yep, sure. All right, would you like to speak to that recommendation, if you like, Councillor Stewart?
Yes, I'd just really like to encourage everybody to really get involved. No decisions have been made, and it's going to be an amazing process that we'd really, really encourage you to be there. Thank you, staff, for all you've done. It's been awesome. And it's a really good thing going forward, and I'm really looking forward to the whole process.
Cool. Thank you, Councillor Stewart. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favour, please say aye. Who's against? Carried. Thank you very much.